All right, hello everybody. Happy Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. The work week is almost over. Oh, I look forward to when Arbonne is my main source of income and the work week isn't really a thing anymore. It's just a work life in all the best ways. So welcome to our Wednesday night training call. Tonight, Kathleen has put together a presentation for us on a typical day in Arbonne and what we can be doing on the day-to-day to build ourselves, our businesses, and our teams. So we're gonna not waste any time, hop right into the presentation. My cat's been so meowy lately. I'm sorry if you hear her. I'm sorry she's meowy. I feel bad. Okay, so let's go back to the top here. A typical day in Arbonne. And we are calling our team the Team Globally Pure because we know this is the year that our team's going to go global, and once our team goes global, it opens up the opportunity for each of us to expand, and it's very, very exciting. So let's hop right into it. Now this is great because she broke it up into different situations because we all have totally different jobs, totally different. We're in very different places in life right now. So we try to generalize a couple different ways that you can fit this into your life no matter how you're working or not working. If you're not working, all the more reason that you can be building this business and creating massive income for yourself. Now, if you do have a 9-to-5 like myself, I know it's very hard to find time to squeeze in anything, even just like a minute of relaxation. When you wake up, you have to go to work, you come home, you're too tired to do anything else. But with Arbonne, by creating this, by taking that little extra time to do something, it creates the space for you to let go of that 9-to-5 if you so choose and have your time back. So that's something you have to keep on your mind. So something you can be doing in the morning before you go to work is 30 minutes of personal development. That really isn't a lot, and it's a great way to start your day even if you're not doing an Arbonne business. So if you're doing an Arbonne business, all the more reason to do it. Whether you have a favorite book that you read every day, or if it's a Debbie Neal call or one of our calls that you listen to every day, so that whether it's expanding your Arbonne knowledge or expanding your self-knowledge, it's getting you on that frequency to live a successful and productive day. There's other articles, and then you could even just go on to arbonne.com, log in, and open up the source and just search around for 30 minutes and learn different things about what Arbonne is and what we offer so that it's easier for you to talk about it. The more you know, the more fluently you can speak and the more confidently, and people are going to want to hear what you have to say because you'll know what you're saying. So, then during work, throughout the day, I know people, you may not have much time, but I know a lot of people I know have a lot of downtime, not at my office, but people that I talk to that do have 9-to-5 say they waste half their day on social media. So whether you have a full day and you can only take an hour off for lunch, during that lunch, take 15 minutes to make a few phone calls to set up somebody that you'll drop off a sample to or set up an appointment to do a one-on-one. You don't have to do the one-on-one, but you just have to make those phone calls throughout the day to set these appointments, which are income-producing activity for your business. So again, that's if you just have a lunch break. If you're the type of person that has a lot of time freedom while you're in your job, you can easily be sending out text messages throughout the day, reaching out to people through Facebook. It's all about the right approach. And if that's something that you're willing to do, you need to work with your upline to really perfect your strategy. And you want to share yourself authentically. So these are things that you can definitely be squeezing into your day with a 9-to-5, whether it's 15 minutes or half an hour that you squeeze into those 8 hours, it will be so worth it because that's what's gonna buy you back your life. Then after work, you can do one of these things or all of these things depending on what kind of time you have, what other commitments you have. So after work, you can do one business appointment from, maybe you call someone during lunch and are like, hey, do you want to grab dinner together? And then when you go to eat dinner, you're also doing business. Extra bonus is that then you can also write off that dinner in your taxes. Or maybe during lunch you called someone and were like, hey, can I drop off this really great skincare for you to try? How about I stop by after work? Bam, you drop the bag and you're doing your job. And the bag drops are great because that doesn't take that much of your time. It's all about having precise follow-up in all of this. You can do both of those though. Drop off the bag on your way to dinner and kill two birds with one stone. Then, of course, you can always do 30 minutes of personal development. This is something you should be doing morning and night, either way. So just keep that in mind, that whether, again, you have a book that you're reading in the morning and the night, or maybe you do your book reading in the morning and you do your Arbonne training at night, or you watch the source in the morning and you do your meditation at night, so that you can get yourself in the zone to be the best version of you. And this is the big one, is organizing a group presentation. You can do weeknight group presentations while you're working. Those are really powerful. And as we open up into this virtual world, you do have the opportunity to invite people through their email to come online, and everyone shops together for a night. And that's where you start to really make big sales numbers, and that's what leads to your promotion. So again, you want to be doing at least one of these things, but aim to do 2 or 3 every day. So if, on the other hand, you're somebody who has a night job, or if you have a day job, a morning job that's not a part-time job that you work in the morning, you would just reverse what I'm going to say in the next. But I'm sure we have a lot of people who work in the food industry and are looking for something like this to supplement that, so they don't have to continue to work those nightly hours. So if you do have that kind of job, maybe what you need to do is just do that, wake up 1 hour earlier so that you can squeeze in everything we mentioned before. Going out to lunch with somebody to share with them the business opportunity, dropping off a bag of product to somebody who you think would really benefit and really needs the product, because everybody has some problem that we have some solution to. You just need to help people open up and share with you, and then you have to have the confidence to offer what we have. And of course, the 30 minutes of personal development you should be starting your day with. And again, if you work at night, you can definitely do group presentations in the morning. Have people come over, and if you're a waitress, have all the waitresses come over and do your makeup real nice for work that day, or treat yourselves to a facial on your day off. You can get creative, and remember that all of the things that we do not only benefit you in so many ways, such as the personal development, but when you have the courage to share with other people, you then give them that opportunity to become the best version of themselves as well. So if you work a night job, or like I said, a day job, if you work an early morning job, this is stuff you would squeeze in before you go to work. If you work a night job, these are things you just want to squeeze in before your head hits the pillow. 30 minutes of personal development. Make sure you read that good book or listen to that good audio before you go to bed to keep your frequency. They say actually whatever you think of before you go to bed is what you kind of dream about, and it also sets the tone for your next day. So you want to make sure that you're putting yourself to bed peacefully and also at that frequency for success that you're working to create with Arbonne. And throughout your night, especially if you're in the food industry and you're meeting new people all the time, you could be setting up this product sample and the business product or business prospect throughout your day as well. Just like the people that are sitting at a desk and may have some time, or the people who are in the field and are meeting different people every day, people in the food industry have a great opportunity because they're constantly meeting new people and dealing with new people. It's just about opening up to that. So ultimately, if we go back, this is what you want to be getting done every day. You want to have a product sample and a business prospect. You want to work to get those. You want to do your personal development, and you want to actually execute your appointments. So if you set up a business appointment, make sure you go and do that business appointment. If you set up a bag drop-off, make sure you go and do that bag drop-off. And make sure you're squeezing in your group presentations. You should aim for at least one a week, and that's how you'll really start to build this business in a substantial way. So now taking it down to the bare minimum, you need to be using the product. We've talked about this in all of the trainings. It's really, really hard to share Arbonne with people if you can't authentically speak about how much you love it. And if you're using it, it'll be easy to speak about how much you authentically love it. And if you're learning about it, doing the 30 minutes of personal development and product knowledge, you're learning more and more about the product and the industry. You're not going to be able to shut up about what you have to offer. So you need to be doing this stuff. You need to submerge yourself in this world to create that success. And you want to be talking to at least one person a day, whether that's taking up the courage to be like, listen, I have this, I want to talk to you about it, and then making that appointment, or actually going to an appointment and doing that. So at the bare minimum, maybe one day you set a business appointment, the next day you have that appointment. One day you set up a product, the next day you deliver that product. In the most optimal situation, every day you're calling somebody, setting up, okay, let me drop this on my way to dinner tonight because I'm meeting up with this other person that I just got off the phone with. So you have to find your balance. You have to learn what works for you and build. But by doing the personal development, you build the skills that you need to have those types of relationships and have that type of confidence and have that kind of freedom to live your life the way that you design it. So in a typical day, you should be hitting $150 in sales every day by signing up one preferred client or doing more than that. When you introduce people to these products and you have these business meetings and you share what Arbonne is, you're encouraging people to sign up with a minimum of $150 order so that they get the most for their money and they really benefit from what Arbonne has to offer. So if you're doing $150 a day, that really builds up in your team's sales and it'll get you into a solid district manager position. Now, if you're doing a group presentation every day and you're getting up to $500 in sales each time, that really starts to add up. So when you start to look at what these numbers can do, $150, that's just one sale. A group presentation, that's just a couple hours that you make these sales. And the business launch is when you find a business partner, and those parties also accumulate a lot of RV. So the point being, last week we talked about numbers, is that right? I think so. Yeah, so last week we talked about numbers, and we talked about 150, 250, 500 are kind of the building blocks to get to the golden number of 2,500 and the platinum or diamond number of 5,000. So these are how you can hit those numbers even faster. A one-on-one presentation, you can almost guarantee you're going to leave there with $150 in sales. A group presentation, you can confidently believe you're going to have $500 in sales by having that group presentation. And when you launch a new business builder, you can believe that you will get up to $1,000 in sales by launching their business. So when you think of it that way, you can launch 2 business partners and hold 1 group presentation, and you're already hitting that golden number. So remember, this is a numbers game. And the important part is that you really want to teach people how to buy all the products that they need for the lifestyle they're looking to achieve. And now, just as this is great, I'm glad Kathleen put this in there. I like to think of this business kind of like shucking oysters. Every time you shuck an oyster, you're not going to find a pearl, but if you shuck enough oysters, you're gonna get the pearl. So every time you get a no, it's estimated to be worth $500 in your future paychecks. So there are some people who approach this type of business by going out and getting 5 no's a day. Because if you're going out to get 5 no's a day, you may get 3 yeses along the way. You may only get 1. But if you're going for the no, you have that mindset like, okay, they may say no, but that's going to be okay because I'm going for the no's. The no's are worth something as well. So that happens. There are no's, and a lot of times no is short for not now. All right. Now we're going to break it down. We're almost done for the night. It's a quick training. We're going to work to keep these brief and just have them be what you need. And actually, before I even go into this too much, the final 3 points, I just want to take, oh, here, let me go back to my face so you guys can see me and we'll talk for a minute. I'm coming. Okay. Hey, so this is what Kathleen and I have been talking about. I know most of you have received the email. Nicole's over here too. I'm gonna take her out though so that she's, hey Nicole. She's listening tight for the training. Yes. And what we really want to do is encourage all of you to get on these Google Hangouts, and whether it's doing a presentation or planning a presentation, if you're not big on public speaking, which this doesn't feel like public speaking so much. I mean, Nicole's here, so I have a little bit of pressure, but I'm just talking to a screen, it feels like, even if there are 100 people on the call. So it's a great way to build your confidence for public speaking in the long run as well. But we want you to find something that you're passionate about that's under Arbonne's umbrella so that you can get on here and share. And again, if your picture is the one that's on there when we do a Discover Arbonne, your friends are more likely to click in and listen to what you have to say if they don't know the other people who are presenting. So that's something, if I don't hear back from you guys in the next day, I'll follow up and we'll work on getting your training together. And over the next few weeks, we'll make sure that everybody gets on here and has a training and that you're working towards this because it's part of your personal development and part of understanding what this industry is about. And I know that everybody who I invite to these calls is a born leader. So this is just a vehicle for you to be that. So that's what I want to see. I just want to see you all like live your full potential. And I know I'm going to see it because we're already here. It's a beautiful thing. Now, how do I get back? Here we are. Okay. So now back to the final points to drive it home. Personal development is huge. I have said many times that the personal development I've gotten out of this business is invaluable. If that was all I've gotten paid, it was enough because I've learned so much about not only myself, but how to work with others. And like by really understanding myself, I feel like I do understand others so much better. So there are a lot of ways to approach this, and I know that we all have different ways of learning, but that's what's so great is that there are so many resources to make this possible. So here are some suggestions for personal development. The number one suggestion is books. We do have whole lists of books that are related to what we're doing, and they're not just about network marketing or Arbonne, but also about like the Secret or The Power and those books and stuff along that lines that are really about getting control over your mind and believing that you deserve this success that is attached to an Arbonne business. I do know that we also have some people that really aren't readers, and that's okay because we have so many recordings, whether that is just listening to these trainings that we record or following Debbie Neal's SoundCloud, or maybe listening to Deepak and Oprah with their monthly meditations, or doing the EFT tapping, like whatever it is that kind of makes your soul sing and makes you feel like you're becoming a better person. There are tons of recordings that help with that. And again, we can recommend tons of pages that you can follow and people, specific recordings that we would mention. The next thing is blogs. There's tons of blogs. I think immediately of Finer Minds or Mind Body Green, and just these things that almost every article they post, you're like, oh my God, that is so Arbonne. Like it's crazy. You follow anything with health and wellness, anything with healthy living, anything about beauty products. All that stuff is related to Arbonne, and the more that you're consuming of this information, the more you see that we have the superior option. Another great thing is social media, liking a bunch of pages on Facebook that are related to your personal growth and development. And of course, you guys, if you know me, I'm all about yoga and meditation. That's a huge way to get through your own personal development and understand the blockages you put up to your own abundance, which we'll be talking about next week. But meditation is huge, and that I think that does count. If you can take 30 minutes and meditate a day, I would say that's half of your personal development because that's huge. Not everyone would agree with me, but I'm going to say it because I mean it. It's hard to say, but good luck with that. Meditating for 30 minutes is not easy. But seriously, bringing it back and trying to be serious instead of being Caitlin. Really what it comes down to in personal development, by developing yourself, you're able to develop relationships better and share with other people this journey of becoming the best version of themselves, like I said before. And it's so fulfilling. And even the relationships you have where people aren't going to take this journey with you, and that will happen, those relationships are going to become so much more rich. And when you do these personal development, and like learning about relationships is also a huge way to develop yourself for Arbonne, because you have to understand how people interact. Psychology was very, very helpful for me in building this business. And then you have product and industry knowledge, which is super important. Arbonne.com, just going there and learning the site, knowing how to navigate it so you can help people when they are interested in buying a product, and going on and looking at the ingredients in the products and just knowing how to access these things. And then if you have questions that come up, you can ask me or you can ask the home office. Arbonne has like everything you need in itself. We're all just here to keep it like humanized, you know? And within Arbonne.com is the source, which literally you could just type in any product, any question, and it's like a Google for your Arbonne experience. So I mean, I highly suggest you guys get on that ASAP. Check out the source. Realize the resource that it is. The team trainings are another thing, these that we're doing every week. Some of them are going to be product based, some of them are going to be industry based, some of them will be more personal development based, but you want to make sure you're tuning into them because again, you're part of a community, and I think this is a great way of remembering that. And again, social media, following people like Robert Kiyosaki or Entrepreneur Magazine, and just there's so much out there, you know, even on Twitter, like there's like categories that you can, you know, it's like business, right? Like even Snapchat, I think, I don't do that so much, but all of this stuff, it has resources for you to become more of a professional and a better business person. Then there's live trainings. You can go on retreats. You can go to the Arbonne leadership trainings. You can go to the training and recognitions. You can go to things like, who's that guy? What's that? YouTube. Yeah, right. And of course, YouTube. What's it? Tony Robbins? Is that him? Is that his name? He's a guy. He does stuff. But the idea is finding people who are successful and then following their footsteps is the main idea. And there's so many good-hearted people that are sharing their secrets to success, and fortunately for us, a lot of them are in Arbonne. And then the last point here is the curiosity packs, and all of those documents are on our Google Drive. Kathleen shared a folder with everybody, the Arbonne team training folder, and in that there is the curiosity packs. A lot of you probably received a folder when we first started doing business that explained and outlined a lot of these steps. And that's what you do with people, is you pique their interest, and if they're like, I want to know more, you have these resources to hand over to them. So if you don't know the curiosity packs, and when I say that, it doesn't ring bells of what kind of material are in there, make sure that we get together and talk. Not that we don't need to literally get together face to face, but let's get on the phone and talk about it so that you understand all these resources that are available to you and that are key to making this success. So ultimately what we do is we share, we sell, and we sponsor. We share the product, and the product sells itself, but you gotta make sure you're sharing it with people so that they're trying it. You share your story, your experience with the products, and most importantly, you share your why. Like why did you start this business? Why are you interested? What do you wanna do with your life, you know? People wanna know that kind of stuff. More than anything, we're selling the lifestyle. Not only like the luxurious lifestyle of being an Arbonne National Vice President, but the healthy lifestyle of being somebody that's committed to a pure, safe, and beneficial philosophy. And there's no arguing that. And that's what I'm sure we'll do a whole nother training on that in the future. We've done similar one just last week too, but really the idea of selling the lifestyle, whether that is on your Facebook or through your social media or just in your day to day. When you get a compliment, be like, oh, that's totally my Arbonne. Just share, sell, and then you're sponsoring the future leaders. You want to sign people up to do business with you that you know have the potential to do this. You don't want to drag anybody into this business. Everybody who is on this call is not somebody I had to drag into the business. There's somebody who maybe at first they were not interested, but when the time was right, they knew that this was something they have to do. It's our job to introduce people. We can keep playing small and we can keep our mouths shut, but in reality, we have solutions to people's problems, and it's not fair for us to keep them to ourselves. And it's not productive, you know what I mean? So share your story, share your product, sell your lifestyle, and sponsor future leaders and your friends into this new opportunity to live the life that they've always dreamed of and never thought was possible. So I really am so grateful to be doing this and tuning in with you guys every week, knowing that we're part of a community, and most of us have talked about we're going so far with what we're doing. We all have big, big, big plans, and I know that it's possible. So if we stick together and we work at it, we can make this happen. So get back to me. Let me know what you think about this training. Feedback is golden. And we'll talk about your trainings and what we're going to be doing moving forward. And if you need any help with the Google, I've been learning. So holler at your girl. All right. I love all of you guys, and we'll talk soon. Have a great night.